Okay, so now we're going to talk about 3.1, which is measures of central tendency. So you can recall what a statistic is. It's a characteristic of a sample, and a parameter is a characteristic of a population. We learned about those in chapter 1. Okay, and I remember those because statistic, sample both start with S, parameter, population both start with P. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is calculating the mean. The other name for mean that we might be more familiar with is average. Okay, so before we start, I want you to think to yourself, how do you calculate an average? Okay, we add up the values and we divide by how many there are. Okay, we know how to do this. Okay, so we have special notation. Okay, so n, little n, is the sample size. Capital N is the population size. Okay, or the total number in the population. Okay, so sample mean, which is the average of the sample data, okay, is going to be represented using this symbol, which we call X bar. Okay, again, it's the sum of the data divided by the sample size. So this symbol means sum of. Okay, and our xi are each of our data values. So this just means the sum of your data value divided by little n, which is our sample size. Okay, population mean is represented by mu. It's a Greek M. Okay, pronounced mu. Okay, again, sum of the data divided by the population size. So mu is the sum of the data divided by capital N, population size. Okay, so now we're going to find the mean of the following data. Okay, so to find the mean, we're going to use our calculators. Okay, we're going to add these all up. And we're going to divide by how many there are. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 data values. Okay, so take a moment and add those up. Okay, so the numerator is 121, and we're going to divide by 6. Okay, so 121 divided by 6, okay, is 20.166666666. Okay, so you got to make sure you read my stat lab, make sure you read the directions on the test to see where you're supposed to round to. Let's say we want to round to 3 decimal places, so we would have 20.167. Okay. Now, if this was a sample mean, how would we label that? Okay, so our symbol for sample mean is X bar. So we would say X bar is 20.167, and for the population, our mean is mu, and it's 20.167. Okay, so those are how we use those different notations. Next, we're going to calculate the median of the data. Okay, so the median is the midpoint of the data. So the biggest thing is you have to remember to put your data in order first. Okay, if it's not in order, the middle won't really be the middle. Okay, so if there's an even number in the data set, there will be 2 numbers in the middle, and you have to find the average of those to find the median. Okay, if there's an odd number in the data set, there will only be 1 number in the middle, and that value is your median. Okay, so we're going to do these 2 examples. So for this first example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 5 numbers in our data set, so that's an odd number. So we ask ourselves, are they in order? Yes, they are. Okay, so if I look, you can just tell that. Okay, so then I can just start crossing off my data values from each end, and I have 1 number in the middle. Okay, so my median is 20. Okay, and you can use a capital M to represent median. It's the same for both the population and the sample. Okay, so this next one, we first ask ourselves, are they in order? Okay, and no, they're not. Okay, so we have to put them in order first. So 2, 11, 13, 14, 16, 18, okay? So now they're in order, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 data values. Okay, so there's an even number of data values in my data set. Okay, so if I start crossing off, I now have 2 things in the middle. To find my median, I have to add them and divide by 2 because I'm finding the average. So 13 plus 14 divided by 2 gives me a median of 13.5. Okay, we are going to stop this video now and we're going to come back and finish up 3.1.